Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you, as you can see here, the Oakland Aviation Museum. And I'm going to do a little treasure hunt on this video. I thought it'd be fun for everybody. I have a little Statue of Liberty here. And I'm going to place it in the video, and when you guys watch the video, see if you can find it. And then in the comments, tell me if you found it or not. So I appreciate you coming along with me today, and subscribe to my channel. And today, let's go check out the Oakland Aviation Museum together, all right? Okay, well, here we are. We just got into the museum here. Old Boeing School poster. That's cool. And the Boeing patch. Look at this propeller. A 100-year-old propeller was used on the British and American fighter bombers. That's pretty neat. Little model there flying in the air. Some more older stuff, patches. And this is a bird of paradise, city of Oakland, a dole race, Oakland Airport dedication. Southern Cross. It's all in the mid-20s. There's a cool picture there. Is that Amelia Earhart? Maybe. No, it's not. And this is like a timeline for the, and then just scroll through it slowly so you can read it if you want. And this room here is full of various photographs. I won't show you all of them, but let's look at some of the cooler ones. That one's neat. It's overhead of the Oakland back in the day, 1930s. And there's a seaplane. Some biplanes. Interesting. And this is a photograph. What does it say here? 1927, Oakland. This is where the Oakland Airport is now. There's another overhead shot. This guy's refueling. First Flight International Air Express. Don't know what that is. Maybe, oh, I guess it's FedEx, basically. These are some neat old pictures, huh? More biplanes. There's a biplane seaplane. That looks like a DC-10. All right, that was a like picture room. This old, another old propeller, bird of paradise, California to Hawaii. And here they got more propellers on the wall. I got this flight simulator here. FA-18 simulator. 20 minutes. Well, it's a long time. That's pretty good. $1 a minute. Flight simulator. Wow, look at these propellers here. I like that wooden. Look at the wooden one, the grain on it. That's pretty awesome. And this one here, look at that thing. That's a massive propeller. Stand back. What does it say? Pacific Propeller Company. Very neat. And what do we got here? Development of aircraft engine. Pancake V8 automotive engine, circa 1940. Look at that thing. That's wild, huh? I bet that thing was loud. Look at the exhaust there. It's got double spark plugs. It looks like it's supercharged. This is some kind of supercharger. That thing's neat. Yeah, look at the pressure there. Looks like this is development of the jet engine. The turbines here and rotors. Garrett's turbine engine. That thing's wild, huh? Pretty cool. And here we got the General Electric J47 jet engine. Got all these electrical cords and cables and high pressure lines. Opposite polarity ignition vibrator unit. So that's like an early jet engine. That's pretty cool. And what do we got here? This to me, I don't know what this is. Helicopter maybe? The transmission here, all the gears, and the drive shaft. Oh, it's a turbine in here. This is showing you, this is a T56 series engine 3. Pretty cool. Here we got a Pratt & Whitney TF30414A. Look at all the details of this thing. It's huge too. Look at the dolly just to carry it is massive. Hey, these still move. They're sharp. Got to cut through that air. It's pretty cool. Look at the engineering. Box there. Danger, high voltage. Look at this cable. It's like a throttle, I think. Goes all the way back. Probably, oh, it opens and closes the tail part of the jet. Don't want to be standing here when this thing's going. You'd be crispy. That is a big jet engine. Look at this one right next to it. General Electric T79j79 Jet Engine. It's for use in a variety of fighters and bombers. This looks like a fuel cell, which is interesting. It must be like to start it with. This is a smaller engine compared to the last one, that's for sure. These blades don't want to turn. And look at this side. I'm not sure what that is. The design of this thing is crazy. All the things you got to think about. And the back end of it. It's pretty neat. I like that. This one here, R985 Wash Jr. Look at that thing. That's pretty impressive. The rotary engine. Each one of them has pistons in the chambers there. Firing order on it must be crazy. 9-cylinder, 450 horsepower. Now think about your average car. You know, a supercharged V6 could get up to that kind of horsepower. And a lot smaller than that. It's like a work of art. That's a cool looking engine. There's pictures of a guy's hand in it. You see the size of those pistons, like a coffee can. There's a cutaway picture. Crankshaft in there. Reduction gearing. That's pretty neat. I'll take that as a coffee table, maybe. Here's another one. A Tiggery G4 Engine. Basic training aircraft for the 1930s. 125 horsepower, 4-cylinder inline. It's inverted. So it's like taking a car engine and flipping it upside down. You know, my first question is what about the oil in the combustion chamber? I don't know. It just makes me think of that. Where's the oil? Because normally a car has an oil pan. I'm sure they figured it out, though. This one here, Lycoming R680 radial engine. Inline 9-cylinder air-cooled. This one's cool. It's a cutaway, so it's like showing you the inner workings. Look at the size of those pistons. You think about them going around a circle, and each piston, and the connecting rod. Imagine the timing on this thing. And this, it's like, I think, the exhaust down there. And the valve timing up there, and the push rod. It's way before overhead cams. Propeller would go on the end there. There's a label on the side. It says here this one produces 330 horsepower. It's not bad for that size of engine, I guess. And the distributor cap. And it's got dual points in there, ignition. Distributor and the ignition are separate. It's interesting. I don't know how exactly that works. Modern cars don't have any of that stuff now. They just have a coil that fires the spark, which is timed by a computer. That one's really interesting. The valve train on the top. And I know about those points because I had a motorcycle that had dual points. It's a pain in the ass. You have to adjust the gaps on those things all the time. This is kind of neat. They got like a what it would be like in a garage. Oil cans and wrenches. Look at this beast. This is like 2 engines saddled together. That's pretty massive. 18-cylinder R2800. Developing 2,535 horsepower. That's pretty impressive, actually, if you think about it. That's a lot of power. Imagine adjusting the valves on that thing. Each one of those caps you'd have to unscrew and make sure it's timed right. And there's connecting rods, push rods, I should say. I like the shape of the fins. It's kind of like a work of art, this thing. Nowadays. Back here is some kind of carburation system, I think. Fuel system. Can kind of see in the piston holes, but not very well. I'd like to hear one of those fire up. I bet it's loud. What else we got here? This one here. Look at this thing. A Ranger V770 aircraft engine. American air-cooled inverted V12. That's awesome. Look how clean it is. The design. It's a very clean design. That engine's nice. There's spark plugs there, exhaust, manifold. Ranger aircraft engine. There's this. That looks like a really well-made, engineered engine. This one here's a full cutaway. for the high school kids back then learning how to work on engines. Some kind of transmission, connecting rods here. Those pistons are huge. It's like coffee can size. It's got 6 rings in them. Giant valves. Some kind of reduction gearing. You see this little hill or oblong shape? That's what the valves would go up and down. As that spun, it would hit the connecting rod. Or the push rod, I should say. Open and close the valve. You think about the time these are designed, they're pretty advanced for their time. It's like a butterfly valve. This must have been a carburetor. A little bigger than a Holly for you car nuts. This just looks like a starter motor, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe a hydraulic fuel system. It's like a fuel pump, probably. It looks like it. Strongberg, master control. They spray painted the insides orange so you can kind of look at them a little better. Another 18-cylinder beast. These probably went on bomber planes. Can't read that very much anymore. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, it shows you how the rotary engines work. And those are the pistons. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that. And what do we got here? 1908. This is a 1908 4-cylinder water-cooled aircraft engine. Here's another unusual engine here. 1950s. Oh, it goes in one of these like model plane type guys. It's the distributor, rotor, carburetor. That's an engine there. Tiny little thing. It's got 4 spark plugs on it. Look at this one too. Motorcycle. It's a motorcycle / airplane engine. It's got champion plugs in it. Pretty neat. There's a cool painting up there. This museum has got a lot of cool stuff in it. A wing, skeleton of a wing. It's another cool engine. I'd like to hear some of these run. Don't think you ever get to hear that though. This one's pretty neat. It's got almost an Art Deco kind of design to it. There's another little engine here. The little engine that could. Tiny little engine. Then they got this big bronze bust. Feng Zhou Gui. He obviously was involved in an airplane. I guess he was involved in early flights. And here we got a Boeing. This is really neat. It's like Art Deco. Do not touch a propeller. Private. It says this privately financed, designed, all metal plane. It's a test plane, looks like. Here, I'll record this so you can see it. $1933. Pretty neat. They got a hot air balloon basket here. That's pretty cool too, huh? I always wanted to do one of those, but I always thought I might be a little too scared to be that high up in the air, hanging from this. We've got some gauges in here, see where you're floating. Pink Floyd. That must have been the name of the balloon. Good band too. And what is this? Auxiliary power unit. 2-cylinder, 10 horsepower air-cooled engine used to provide electrical power to the aircraft prior to engine start. Huh. Wow. The B-29. The plane that ended World War II. The B-29. Dropping the atom bomb in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. That's a cool little engine though. A model plane up there of a P-51 Mustang. My grandpa used to work on those during the war. That looks like it really flies. Radio controlled. Wouldn't want to crash it though. They got all these signs, fire hose, in case you got a fire. And this is a General James Doolittle room. Check it out in here. I'm not going to show you everything. Wow, look at this though. This is cool. Model of an aircraft carrier. Uss Hornet. And I did do a 5-part series of the Uss Hornet. So that's a model of it. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. And there's a kamikaze flag. Looks like a real one. And for those of you who don't know, kamikaze were Japanese pilots that willingly committed suicide by crashing their planes into enemy ships, and the planes have become a bomb, basically. Airphones. I'm going to go kind of quickly through this, not super detailed. These are male uniforms on loan. So these are uniforms that you would have seen in the 40s. Female uniform you would have seen. This is you'd wear this to protect you against enemy explosive fragments. Look at the weight of this thing. It's 151 pounds. Jeez. A life vest if you happen to be lost at sea, a radio signal. Some more artwork. What we got here is a 16mm camera. Sextant bubble. Don't know what that is. Sextant. I don't know what that is. So, you World War II buffs, tell me what those things are. And this. Don't know what that is either. Kind of plane. P-51. There's a model up there. Everywhere you look, this place is it's got a lot of amazing things in here. Reward, some kind of award, Aerospace Squadron Association. These pictures are all signed by people. There's an enemy plane up there. More uniforms. Various prisoner of war pictures. And these look like letters. Check this out. It's like an architect drawing of a. It says general arrangement drawing. And here we got a painting. Another model up there. That's pretty cool. And in this case, old binoculars, aviator cab, bomb, oxygen regulator, all sorts of things for the war. So this is what the guy would do to navigate. He'd sit here and I guess look through these things to drop the bomb. Turn these gauges and you calculate airspeed and lift and wind to try to get an accurate drop. How'd you like that job? Leaning down on that thing. Doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me. But war's not fun. More uniforms. Some old pictures. Huh, that's Queen. More pictures. And all this stuff here. Camera equipment and bomb guiding equipment and radio equipment. More uniforms. It's made out of wool. Those pins are cool. Look at that. Instrument panel for a P-47D. That's some kind of level. And then more pictures. The Queen and various well-to-do people. And then over here we got, I guess these are for cold weather, gloves and scarf. German flak. German flak. So it's like fragments. Check this out. That picture is cool. Look at that. And the size of the bullets. Plastic lenses for goggles. Bomb release mechanism. Boots. Escape kit provided for airmen as a means of evading the enemy. Look at those boots. Those are crazy. Some more pictures. Look at the damage this plane took. It's as a result of 20mm gunfire. Merry Christmas, they got written on the bomb. Bomb dump site. There's quite a lot of history in this museum. This is like over the target. And then bombs away, on the way down and hitting the target. Another little model here. And then more models. And more pictures of snow, cold. Guess they're starting the plane there. And some music. These guys look happy. Clearing the runways. There's a brutal job. How'd you like to do that? What else we got? Oh, German. German pilot leather jacket. Some more clothing articles here. German, enemy. Wow. You got real Nazi signs, pins. And when I see that, it makes me think of Hogan's Heroes show in the 70s, early 70s. It's actually a comedy about guys living in a German prison. Believe it or not, they made a comedy out of it. It's pretty funny, actually. And what do we got here? More hats. Look at the hat. Prisoner of War. Purple Heart. Those are neat. Good Conduct, Defense, Flying Cross. Awards you get. Couple more models here. And that was the Doolittle building room. Here's a cool little plane here. What is this? It's kind of a modern, more modern. Well, not really. It's got a wood propeller. 1979. Well, it's kind of recent. 180 horsepower. It's got a sleek design to it. This one is a little more classic. This is some kind of wind speed detector, I think. It's got a lot of use. Look at all the wear on that. This plane was used heavily. Do not touch propeller. 1946. It's a neat plane. Get a view of the cockpit. Oldie but a goodie. Look at that model up there. Another painting. African Americans in Aviation. Oh, cool. A lot more models hanging up there. When I was a kid, my brother had models like this, but they're all commercial airlines. He made them. Look at that picture there, bombing a train. Never seen anything like that. I think they made a movie about these guys. I forgot the name of the movie. And there's a little mock-up. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is the movie. A lot of P-51s. I like how they show them in the process of taking off. Look at that. That's pretty neat. Looks like it's made out of brass. The museum is full of history. There's actual newspaper articles. Some more pictures. Mr. Coleman, Mrs. Coleman. Didn't look close. Look at that. Huh. These are cool pictures. He doesn't look too happy. Looks mean. So this part of the museum, you could actually rent it out and have a wedding reception here, a company party. You can see they got a drum set there, and it's like someone was having a party here recently, or maybe that's the house system. Man, everywhere you look, there's like more and more stuff. All the model planes. Even got model blimps. Blunt pictures. I think those things are to like wave the blimp when it comes into landing, so you can see you. More planes. This one's got a ferocious look to it. I was in the model building for a while, but my brother was way more into it than me. The planes are always fun to make. Battle flag. That's taken off an aircraft carrier, USS Lexington. More planes. Planes and helicopters. More planes. Lots of model planes here. They get more modern. Those are cool. The engines turn. Look at some bombs here. And some more uniforms. Some more models here. Various fighters. There's a tail hook, so when you landed on an aircraft carrier, this would grab a cable and slow you down. And this is an aircraft carrier in detail. Shows you like what is where. So check out my USS Hornet video that I did if you guys want to learn more about aircraft carriers. There's another picture. Painting, actually. More pictures and more models. And some more models. Lots of models in here. And some flight stuff. We got a flashlight and a pilot. There's a survival pocket knife up there. Survivor kit. This is if you get lost at sea or shot down. And there's a parachute. Clipboard. It says knee clipboard. I guess you'd strap it to your knee. Pilot's flight computer. There's a computer. Before we had iPhones, we had those. More models. This model's cool.
Yeah, that's a beautiful model.
Yeah, amazing. They even put like a faux wood deck on it.
I love how all those men are on there. That's just amazing.
Very detailed. Well, someone put a lot of time into that one. And the propellers are made out of brass. Do an overhead shot here. Various things, flight deck, little paddles that you'd wave planes in. Look at those gloves. And of course more models. There's got to be hundreds of models in here. Wow, look at that picture. 1935. Some kind of trophy here. And this is a forgot the name of it. I actually made a model of this when I was a kid. They flew as in Vietnam. More uniforms. And another bomb, empty bomb. This is an ADM-20 Quail. Was a subsonic jet-powered air-launched decoy cruise missile built by McDonald Aircraft Corporation. Designed to launch by a Boeing B-52. There's a decoy. Produced radar images very similar to the B-52. Oh, I see. And on top of it, they got this little model here. This guy's looks serious, huh? But this is a decoy. It's pretty wild. Look at these stickers. Does he look like he's having fun? I don't know. And they got something right above us. It's one of those weird looking ones. You see these occasionally, like private plane deals. Like reverse wing. It's a cool painting. And this is some kind of... Can you catch the first cable? Oh, you gotta... That's cool. They made this little game. See if you can land this plane and catch this. It's pretty cool. In this dark room, they got like a mock-up of being inside a plane. It's pretty neat. There's way more to see in this museum than I thought. It's a plane they made into a shelf. This looks like some... They must have bring kids here, sitting in bean bags and telling stories. Lucky Passenger African Safari Edition. Yeah, I'd say so. That'd be fun. Destination home. It's a good destination to be having home after a war. Can you imagine when you guys... Imagine when you travel, how after a while you're homesick. Can you imagine how that's multiplied when you're at war? You must want to be home so bad once you realize you didn't get killed. Children of war. There's a flight attendants. And this room is all about the women. Female pilots. Look how happy she looks. I love these old pictures. Some more current ones. And this picture hanging there in the window, that's pretty neat. That looks like the 70s there. These are airline pilots. And then Old United poster. Astronauts. Space shuttle. Unfortunately, she was on the Challenger when it blew up. And this is a Boeing 707 flight engineering training panel. Huh. Neutral park. You know, when I was in middle school. When I was in middle school, I had a math teacher, and he taught the math by teaching us aviation and how to read the gauges. And the top 3 students at the end of the year, he took us up into a little Cessna plane. I was one of the top 3 students. I really enjoyed that class, and we went up into a Cessna plane and flew over our school at lunchtime. That was pretty cool. This 747, you don't see many of those anymore. They have 2 stories. Another room with a lot of different pictures. Transocean Airlines. I wonder if that became Trans America. More models. Flight data recorder. That's if the plane crashes. And there's Bombshell, Jane Mansfield. Doris Day. Lots of cool pictures here. More uniforms. Bikini picture. Jane Mansfield. She was a big heartthrob for all the men in service. These guys are working on the planes. Here's a room that's closed, being worked on currently. Look at this old poster. This is cool. This here says it's an A3 simulator. It's got a model on top. Not sure what an A3 is. Got all the gauges there. And this here. Don't want you messing around with it. Another model of a German plane over there. And look at this helicopter. This is like a little... These things stabilize it. And this is where the blades would attach to a helicopter. I don't know what kind of helicopter this is. Some kind of cargo helicopter, I guess. Very primitive. Let's see what it says. Hiller, 1961. Six people could be in there. Doesn't it look kind of primitive though? Not a lot of the wires are all hanging out. It's pretty primitive. There's a checklist down there. What to do, pre-flight checklist. What's this say? Emergency signal mirror. Interesting. Tells you what to do, emergency signal mirror. Anyway, that's a cool helicopter. It doesn't really make you think of a safe helicopter though. And here we got a P-51, I think, and if it is, this is a plane my grandfather worked on. Instruments there, fuel cell there. No, it's not a P-51. And it looks like it's a replica. Still a good looking plane though. Another model up there. Alright, so now we're outside. I think this is a Tomcat, and this style of plane was used in the Tom Cruise movie. It's evading me now. Top Gun, Top Gun. This is a big plane. How big that thing is. Crazy, huh? Look at this plane. This thing's a beast. The wings turn in. Look at, I just noticed this trailer. It's like a product of U.S. Naval Training Device Center. Old trailer. Looks like it's from the 40s. There's some kind of lighthouse spotlight or lens there. Pretty cool. I don't know what they're going to do with that. So this guy's big beast is called a Sky Warrior. Clear for takeoff. Aircraft windshield repairs. It's volunteered their time and efforts to restoration of the A3 canopy of this historic aircraft. This thing's a beast, man. Big. Doesn't seem like a fighter plane to me. It's pretty cool, though. Very cool. Landing gear would tuck up in there. This thing's huge. It must be like a bomber or something. It's almost like an airliner, the thing's so big. You know what I mean? Very big. You can hear a plane in the sky somewhere. Let's see what else we can see here about all these various planes. I think this is a Harrier. Kind of looks like it. Grumman Intruder. Oh, we got a little bench here. You can have a lunch. And this talks about the Pratt & Whitney J52 Turbo Jet Engine. A lot too, those jet engines, huh? What is this? That is like a parachute. This would deploy to slow the plane down. I think. It could be wrong, but it certainly looks like it. So if you're landing on an aircraft carrier, Dave Cohen. These little stickers. This guy needs a paint job, needs some love. Another big one though. Look at that. Pretty wild. And here we got, this says A7 Corsa 2. Maximum speed 606 miles an hour. Cruising speeds 465. Maximum range 2860. That's pretty far. I can almost fly to New York non-stop. So a lot of these planes are needing some TLC. You can echo in here. You hear that? Hello? Hello? Caution, fuel must contain inhibitor. Probably to keep it from freezing. And And the engine's not in this one. It's just a shell. And this one is a Skyhawk, a TA4J Skyhawk. Or a Lady Hawk. I'm looking at the sign there. The stats on this one: 660 miles an hour. It's got a shorter range, 1,350. I guess that's would be considered a fighter jet. And some of these, you know, a lot of these things, they look like bombs to most people. They're not. They're fuel. That's how they can reach the distance they want to reach. This one's closed off. Cool view though. There's one of those fuel containers there. Auxiliary power unit. These units are designed to meet aircraft electrical power specifications, allow electrical power to be applied to an aircraft on the ground for the purposes of maintenance. Alright. We've got all these various carriers here. Jet engine cradle. You drop in like a transmission in a car, you gotta have something to take the jet engine out with. And this one here is like a reminds me of a Learjet that you know, for personal use. No, you know, not a military deal. And this looks like a Harrier. I always thought Harriers are cool because they could fly, you know, up and down. It is a Harrier. Yeah, these planes are really cool. Pretty fast too, 737 miles an hour. So it can do a vertical takeoff and landing. So the pilot would switch the jet engines to this, and this thing would create downward thrust and lift the plane. Can you imagine the thrust that would come out of these to get this thing to go up in the air? Pretty insane, isn't it, to think about? I mean, the thrust, it must have been incredible coming out of this. Oh, it's got a NASA thing on the wing. So this was part of NASA at one time. Ejection seat. And you know, these don't have any engines, they're just shells. Nothing in there except a hornet nest probably. Look at this thing. This thing's amazing. Huge seaplane. I mean, I'm standing under the wing and it's probably 20 feet just to reach the wing. I imagine this is the, you know, Pan Am flew out of Mare Island. And I bet these are the kind of planes they used. And you see that thing there? That would go on the tip of the wing to balance it in the water. Well, they'd come out to the side. As the wheels are there just to have it on land to roll it around, but this plane was meant to be in the ocean. It's got those two giant propeller motors. Yeah, this thing's impressive. Look at that. There's a picture you won't see many places, huh? So, Oakland Aviation Museum. This is probably their prized piece. Got an old fire hose here. And here's the specs on this. Short Solent Mark III. Flying boat was built by Short Brothers in Rochester, England. I'm not going to read the whole thing. If you want to read it, just pause it. I'm sure this thing was slow. Yeah, cruising speed 220. That's pretty slow for a plane. Fuel consumption 90 gallons per hour. That doesn't seem too bad, actually. It doesn't look, unfortunately, we can get a good look inside. That would be cool. I've got it all locked off. This thing's so big it goes over the roof of the museum. See that? Get the back view. It looks like the tail got crushed a little bit. That kind of sucks. Yeah, this is a beast of a plane. You see something like this, you're thinking, how could that thing fly? Pretty cool, though. Too bad I couldn't get in there. But you know what I've seen, like, there's like painting or pictures. I think they're using it as a storage closet right now. Probably why they don't want you in there. Humvee.
Yeah, they did make a civilian version of it called the H1.
Yeah.
But
that one got like 8 miles to the gallon or something.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know, gas. If you're going to buy something like this, what the hell are you worried about gas mileage for?
Exactly.
But the thing is, in order to get the H1 legal for street use,
yeah,
they had to make huge modifications. The axles, the engine, and some of the component parts are the same, but there's absolutely nothing the same between an H1 and one of these. This is 24 volt.
Wow.
Okay, and then the reason for that is because there's plugs and stuff underneath the bottom of it that you can plug in to take this and go jump start an airplane with it.
Oh wow.
And it'll also run on jet fuel and other things like that. So
and go anywhere.
Yeah, it's right. It will.
Huh. So what year is this thing?
87.
It runs pretty good.
Oh, it runs great. I got it, when did I get it?
Turned like a kitten.
I think I got it about 9 years ago. Yeah.
Pretty neat. Humvee. military vehicle there, a Humvee. These things can go pretty much underwater or anywhere else you want to go. I don't know what the story is of this plane here, but it's seen better days. It represents a crash scene. Okay, it's intentionally supposed to look like that. So this is supposed to look like a crash scene. They did a good job. It looks like a crash scene to me. And here's another generator here. And this guy here is a Cessna Sky Mester. It's got a, the cool thing about this plane, you notice where the engine is? It's in the back. And it's got this interesting rear end. That one's pretty neat. You don't have a propeller in front of you. It's pushing you. This is like a nose cone here. I guess for training purposes. Passenger jet. And they got a workshop in here where they work on all this stuff. So the last one to look at is this guy here. With the swooping wings, dual jets. And the evil teeth painted on the front. It's a big plane. Got a Tomcat, a Grumman F-14A Tomcat. Maximum speed 1,544. That's pretty fast. No doubt. Designed in 1968. So yeah, these were deployed in the Vietnam War. Big plane though. It's a cool design though. It's real sleek. They just painted a piece of wood and the engines are all gone out of these things. Look at that shot there. It's like it reminds you of a catamaran boat with the two giant engines on the side and this air tunnel here. Pretty neat design actually. And this is a turbine, musical jet engine, huh? Interactive sound Let's take a look. What a musical jet engine will do. Don't hear any music come out of it. Interesting. Oh, you know what? I think you pour stuff in the top and it comes down. Yeah, the BBs. I don't know if I could find some to do that. There's some on the ground. Let me find some of these BBs. Alright, I grabbed some BBs off the floor. Let's see what the musical jet engine sounds like. That was pretty cool, actually. Corkscrews. What is this? A British round the world helicopter flight. This wheel's huge. Look at this thing. It's huge. Models. This orange plane here. I don't know what it is. We can go find out though. Araconca, if I'm saying that right. Probably not. Tiny little plane though. 1946. Look at this model. This is some good models people make. What is this? A toy plane? Curtis P-40 Warhawk. That's pretty cool. When I was a kid, I would have loved something like that. Boy. And check out this one. The painting on it is incredible. Look at the dragon. Goes all the way down to the tail. And then it's got wings underneath, the dragon claws coming out. Some fiberglass. The propeller's pretty cool too. Tailed dragon. Cockpit's in green. Interesting. I like the dragon wings. And even the top, look at the top of it, it's even, looks like a dragon on the top of it too. And the tail goes all the way to the end. That's pretty neat. And right next to a giant propeller. And then a wheel over there. There's a nice painting of a pretty lady. 40s. This is cool. This is a detailed model of a passenger jet. The 707, I've flown on those many a times. Look how they have a cutaway there. And a wooden prop. You see this thing? This is going to be the wave of the future. It's a drone for humans. So those are actual, this thing is a true plane of the future. Kitty Hawk Flyer. But it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got 10 blades. Better make sure you have enough battery power for that thing. I'm not sure what these are. Look at all these helicopters up here. I'm not sure what these rusty torque bar. Oh, it's a rudder torque bar. A Pan Am Airway aircraft. Philippine Clipper. Crashed. Howard Hughes. Crazy eccentric billionaire. These seats in here are really cool, Art Deco. Picture of Amelia Earhart, everybody knows her. There's a cool painting here. So this is a replica of the plane, the Kitty Hawk. I believe it's a replica, or it looks very similar to the first plane. Wright brothers, yeah. I think it was 1918 where they first figured out the flight. Now, as I remember, I don't think they had seats, but maybe they did. Yeah, this is the plane that they got going. When you think about it, it was only a little over 100 years ago that we've been flying. Kind of amazing. So, I don't think they used rubber belts back then. That motor's pretty cool though. Probably wasn't the style of motor they used either. It almost looks like this thing flies. I bet it does. Pretty neat. Look at these overhead shots of the Bay Area, 1970. It's about when I moved here. So the little tiny squiggle light straight line, that's the Golden Gate Bridge. This is Oakland, where we are now. It's Marin County. Richmond Santa Fe Bridge, Bay Bridge, and then Hayward Bridge. San Francisco Airport. And Point Reyes, and then you got Vallejo, Mare Island, And this goes out all the way up like to Antioch and Pittsburgh. And then the Delta going up towards Sacramento. And this is an overhead shot of, looks like the Oakland Airport. And another overhead shot of maybe the Oakland Airport. And check this out, F-14 Tomcat pinball machine. I used to play pinball. I wasn't very good at it though. This one's not that old if it's 25 cents. And this is also Oakland Airport drawing. This guy here is welcome you aboard. And right outside here they got a little play area. Planes. Pretty neat. Interactive exhibit. Let's see what this is. Now it's like you can pretend to be a pilot or air traffic control. What kid wouldn't want to do that? Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the Oakland Aviation Museum. There was a lot more here than I thought. It was kind of overwhelming. So a lot of history here, a lot of pictures and details and planes and engines. Just a lot of cool stuff. So that was fun, something to do. And if you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep feeding you some more videos throughout the Bay Area and beyond. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.